No matter what's going on in our world today, you can still achieve your goals and build your magnificent dream life. Welcome to Designing Your Life Today, the podcast filled with strategies designed to inspire and help you achieve your goals. Get the results you desire and feel the power of true success by using our tips for building a successful home business while building a quality lifestyle. I'm your host, goal achievement strategist and business coach, Pat Council, and I share information to help you realize that you are built by design to win. Now is the time to start using what you have to build better health, generate wealth, and to attract empowering relationships. Get ready to achieve because it's your time to do life with power. Welcome to Designing Your Life Today. I'm goal achievement strategist and business coach, Pat Council. And I want to talk to you about why you may not be thriving in business. So I want to give you some keys for achieving your goals or things for you to think about so that you can turn things around and actually start thriving. Now, our theme for the month is the big deal about you. And here's the big deal about you. The big deal about you is that you are capable of adjusting, making the necessary adjustments, making the necessary changes, and turning things around. So this is the big deal about you. So let's get into it, you guys. Now, first of all, I'm going to give you some reasons why you may not be thriving, and in some cases recommend some solutions for you or some strategies that you can use in order to really get things back on track so that you can achieve your goal, especially the one big goal that you set for this month. Assuming you have been following along with us for the month, one of the things that I suggested is that you choose one goal for this month that you wanted to achieve. This is to help you get back on track if you were off track, to help you really focus more and hone in on the direction that you're going in as it relates to your business or life. So it doesn't matter what the goal is that you've chosen, as long as it is a goal that is something that you're excited about, something that you're passionate about. And of course, it cannot be a goal that is a covetous type goal. In other words, a goal where you're looking at what someone else had and you want to take it for yourself. Takers rarely thrive. So let's get on with it, you guys. First of all, when it comes to why you may not be thriving in business, is you have to look at the fact that you might have unrealistic expectations. Now, I can't tell you what's unrealistic for you. However, I can kind of give you sort of a guide to go by. In other words, have you set a goal based on a lifestyle that you have no knowledge of? Now, there's a difference between setting a goal based on a lifestyle that you would like to achieve where you've never been there, done that. You can always imagine it and you can go for it. However, if you have no knowledge of the goal, let me kind of make it a little more tangible for you. For example, if you wanted to buy $1 million home and you've never ever owned $1 million home, then one of the things that would make that an unrealistic goal for you is that you have no knowledge as to what it takes, first of all, to buy the home, but also no real knowledge of what it feels like to live in $1 million community, what it feels like to own $1 million home, or what $1 million home looks like on the inside. Now, you can go online and you can look up $1 million homes. You can get a picture. However, if you really want to own $1 million home, you need to be in that atmosphere, that environment. So what that means is you either need to make friends with people who are on that level, because you need to kind of gain the knowledge of what it feels like and what it looks like to behave the way they do. And And we're talking about their work ethic. We're not talking about their personality. We're not talking about you adopting their personality. We're talking about their work ethic. We're talking about their ideas as it relates to their business or generating monies. So we're talking about those kinds of things. And also you may want to get a realtor to take you inside $1 million home, but find a way to walk through $1 million home so you will know what it feels like to walk through that. I can remember when I first bought one of my homes years ago, I had never lived in a gated community, and I set the goal to live in a gated community. I wanted to live in a gated community, and the thing about that is I was hit and miss on that goal. I kept one month I would achieve the goals, the next month I wouldn't. But here's the thing about that is that up until the point where I actually went inside a gated community, walked inside of those homes, and I started to get that feeling, what it felt like to be inside $1 million home. And they had different model homes that I could walk through. At the time I was a realtor. And I could walk through those homes. I could get a feel for what it was like. And as a result of that, whenever I went back to my home, and I was living in a patio home at the time, which is like a townhouse for those of you who have no idea what that is. And whenever I went back, to my home, I was grateful and I liked where I was living and it was comfortable. However, there was something in me that wanted to go and be in that, community. And even though I had made it a goal, it took me a few years to achieve that goal. However, the thing about achieving that goal is it was a part of me. It had become a part of me to the point where I actually eventually kind of forgot I set that goal. And then when I went to search for a home, I actually ended up in that community. I was going to buy a home in another community, but my energy drew me to a different community. And I actually met a friend who was a builder who said, "Hey, I have a home based on what you described. Take a look. If you like it, we can work something out." So I took a look. I liked it and we worked it out and I moved in. So the thing about that is you want to set a goal based on knowledge of that goal. Go out and get the knowledge of that goal. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it really mean? What is it going to take? So learn everything you can about the goal. Now, I used a house, but in your business, it is the same thing. If you're not thriving in your business, there's something that you need knowledge of. There's something that you don't know. And here's the thing that always amazes me, and I have to throw this in, you guys. I'm always amazed by people who want to make more money in their business, but they don't want to spend the money to invest in themselves, to invest in the business, to invest in that knowledge. Listen, if you don't have any knowledge of it, you might stay in business for a while, but eventually it is going to become such a drain on you to the point where you won't want to do it anymore. And of course you won't thrive. So think about that. So get knowledge of the goal and set a realistic goal. Realistic expectations says, I'm willing to learn what I need to learn and do what I need to do in order to get where I want to be or need to be or desire to be. So here's the thing. The next thing as we move on as to why you may not be thriving in business is you actually don't know what you want. You know, I've coached people in business and I listen to them and I think, oh my goodness, they're not moving forward because they don't know what they want. So then when I start to help them or we work it out so that I can help them figure out what it is they want, even then there's a lot of confusion. And there are those that I coach and we actually figure out, you know, the right direction. We go in that direction and they actually achieve. But there are some who, because they're listening to everyone else around them, everyone else's opinion, they never ever settle on what they truly want. So it is important that you know what you want. Listen, you don't have to know all of the above. Stephen Covey says begin with the end in mind in his book, The 7 Habits habits of highly effective people. So he says that, and it's true. We know kind of our end game, where we want to end up at in a certain point in time. We know what we want to accomplish. However, we forget that there is a journey that will take us there. In order for you to even embark on that journey, you gotta really put your attention on the end game. You want to know where it is you want to end up. And so in order to do that, you have to go in your heart of hearts and say, you know what? This is my business. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something I decided I wanted to do. So what is it I desire to make happen in this business? What is a specific goal that I would like to achieve? See, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to know it all. Okay. You don't have to know the full end game. You just have to have an end game. Pick an end game. In other words, you don't have to know that 20 years from now, you want to, have 1,000 businesses like the one you're building. You don't have to know that. But you do have to at least know that the one that you have, you want to get it to a certain dollar amount. You want to achieve a certain amount of revenues. You want to help a certain number of people. You want to have a certain number of employees. In other words, provide a certain number of jobs. So you want to have some direction. So one of the reasons why you may not be thriving is because you're listening to everyone else and you don't know what you want. Figure out the things that you desire and then act on that. Start acting. Go back to the first one I said and get some knowledge, real knowledge on what you need to do, what steps you need to take. If you already have the knowledge, then take the time to map out a step-by-step plan that will get you there. Okay, here's another reason why you may not be thriving in your business. Another reason why you may not be thriving is because you are afraid. So there's something that you want to make happen in your business. There are things you want to bring into your business, especially revenues. Okay. And you're ignoring doing the thing that it takes to make that happen. Instead, you are going for something easier. And that something easier is what I call creative avoidance. In other words, you are doing things that will not move the needle, that will not move you forward, that will not take you where you want to go. So you're ignoring the thing that you want. And in order for you to actually thrive, you have to look at that thing that you've been ignoring. So I would say acknowledge what it is you're ignoring. Ask yourself, what do you need to do in order to move that business? Okay. Or what can you do to move that business forward? And whatever that thing is, if that's the right thing to do, then by all means, you need to do it. So if you're not doing it in any form, because you're going toward the easier goal or because you're going toward taking that simple path, that easier path, then you're not going to thrive because you're not feeling fulfilled. You're not feeling accomplished. Sometimes we feel accomplished when we tackle the hard things, when we're able to make a choice, when we're able to make a decision. So we feel like we can actually make anything happen at that point because we're tackling something that's a little bit difficult, something we never thought we could make happen. And as a result of that, then you know what? You're going to start thriving because your confidence is going to be way, way up. Okay, I want to give you one more, and this is the final one. Okay, the reason why you may not be thriving in business is because you're focusing on the wrong thing. In other words, You're focused on the negative side. You're focused on the negative what ifs. Everybody's kind of, or not everybody, but a lot of people are looking at what's going on in our society, or they're looking at the headlines, or they're on social media and participating in all of the negative energy that's going on. Because a lot of opinions these days are very negative, and everybody's looking at who doesn't like, who, in other words, racism, they're looking at gender, they're looking at all of these different things. And so as a result of that, they are focused on the negative, and they're worried about the outcome. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. If we all step into our calling, if we do what it is we were called to do, and we put our attention fully on that and realize that, there are things that are going to happen that you're not excited about. There are things that are going to happen that you're not happy about. There are things that are going to happen where you wish they would be different, but they're not. But here's the thing. Instead of putting your attention on what's negative, instead of putting your attention on what isn't happening, instead of putting your attention on what isn't thriving for you, turn that around. Look at the opposite. Imagine what it would look like if things were thriving for you. Imagine what it would look like if everything could be positive. Now, I get it. You're saying, yeah, okay. Just because I imagine it doesn't make it so. Yeah, no, you know what? It makes it so for you. And you said that doesn't mean it's going to change society. That doesn't negate the fact that all of these crazy things are happening in our society. No, it doesn't. But here's the thing. If you want to alleviate it, then take care of you. Put your attention on what kind of energy you're putting out. Okay. So the truth is that out of every so-called unpleasant, negative, or bad circumstance, there's something good. There's something good that you can pull out of that. So think about that. Sometimes we get involved because of social media, because of the news, which is on 24 hours a day. There are news channels out there because of all of these things. I always tell people, listen, stay away from the news, but I modified that over time to say, pick the part of the news that will actually benefit you. In other words, if you need to know what's going on in the stock market, if you need to watch the business news, these kinds of things. Okay. Pick that part. But even that, don't buy into everything that you hear on it. Don't buy into the fact that, oh my goodness, the world is coming crashing down because economically speaking, things aren't great. Don't buy into these things. At some point, we make individual decisions that become a part of the collective. And so when we each make the decision that we're going to thrive, that we're going to see the positive, that we're going to use our imagination to imagine the best, because you can use your imagination either way. But when you look at the fact that, wait a minute, this is the big deal about me, is I'm amazing because I have an imagination. So when you look at yourself like that, when you look at yourself from that position of power, not that position of weakness that's constantly being kind of shoveled down our throats, if you will, constantly thrown in our faces. Here's what's wrong with everybody. Here's what's wrong in the world. Listen, start looking at what's right. Start looking at what's right in your world. And if you can't find anything that's right in your world, then you need to find someone, a positive thinking friend, and say, tell me what's right. Tell me what's good. And then you put your attention on that, and you're going to start to see more good all on your own. Because sometimes people have been complaining and been negative for so long, they don't even know that they're chronic complainers. They don't even know that they're negative. They don't even know that. So consider all of these things, you guys. And when it comes to you thriving, you're going to start thriving when you start to create a strategy that allows you to thrive. And if you use these 4 things that I've suggested to you, this will certainly put you on the right track so that you can thrive in your business and start achieving your business goals. I want to remind you guys as we wrap up that we have more webinars that are going to be coming up. We have webinars that are coming up in the month of July, and we have webinars that have taken place this month. If you missed any of those webinars, you can catch the replays on the webinars that have taken place by going to designingyourlifetoday.com/upcoming webinars. And if you click on webinars that have passed, then you can watch the replays and take lots of notes, learn lots, and connect, get what you need so that you can actually thrive in business and in your personal life, so that you can be excited about that person you see in the mirror. This is all a part of our summer success webinar series, and we're going to have a lot more coming up to help you guys really bring out the best parts of who you are. And with that being said, I want you guys to have an amazing day. I want you to thrive like you have never done before. And I want you to recognize you're built by design to win, because you're here to do life with power. You guys have an amazing day.